What's up everyone, New Guy here, and I'm back, and welcome to Fortnite Battle Royale. Today I want to give a little commentary on everything going on with the Fortnite community in general, and why everyone's saying the game's dead, the game's dying, and my personal opinions on why I think that it's not true. Pretty much I just want to give my thoughts on the competitive scene, why it sucks, and also going to try a challenge at the same time. The super original challenge. I have to land at Coral Castle and win a game. So, let's get into it. So to start off, I just want to say, bear with me here with me playing on keyboard and mouse because I suck at it. But to start off the commentary, I just want to say, I hate the competitive scene. The competitive players and generally the people who make up like the most known people in the Fortnite community ruin the game. Because obviously, many kids play the game, and if a pro player or famous large person in the community is going to give an opinion on something, the younger audience isn't going to be able to build an opinion for themselves. They're just going to say what the pro player or the, ninja's going to say on his opinions on something in the game. And I think that generally what pros say ruins the game. What Fortnite's meant to be is a wacky game with stupid guns, weak guns, overpowered guns, strange weapons, weird skins, and that just makes an overall wacky game, and that's what always made it fun. But what the pro scene does is makes the game the complete opposite. Anytime there's something fun, something unique, what pro players do is cry like a bunch of babies over pretty much everything, and they want the most balanced, just blandest weapon loadout possible. The problem is that things like Season X, which is personally my favorite season, pros absolutely despise. Because you know what they did that season? They put a ton of fun things in. Alright, you had all these different old POIs returning, and there were so many unique things to each location. Oh, turn into procs. Oh, you can get a legendary TAC SMG. And those things are so unique and so weird. You wouldn't expect it, and that's what made it fun, because that's what the game is meant to be. But anytime there's something like that, the Infinity Blade, planes, brutes, pros just complain and complain and complain. They want anything fun gone. They want a bland loadout. And because of the fact that these pro players are top in the community and the most known, all the little kids are going to not think for themselves. They're not going to grow their own opinions on something. They're just going to take the opinion of the pro player. So then all the little kids are going to complain about the same thing. And so because you have so many people complaining about this because of that, Epic's going to be like, okay, we'll do this. And then you have a bland, unfun game. There is a reason so many people liked Unvaulted, because that game mode brought back everything that was fun. Okay, charged shotgun. I mean, I really just have to only name the charged shotgun, but I could just name everything in that game mode. From items that may have been strange, like a junk rift, were fun to use. Alright, the boom bow, overpowered? Yes. But is that why it was fun? Yes. Because you had so many other overpowered things in Unvaulted that it just made the game chaotic. And that's what's fun. A chaotic, wacky game, because this game, from the start, was never meant to be competitive. But then everyone tried to be the best player in the game, and that made it competitive. And when it started getting competitive, it made it less fun. Every single time you get into a fight, you can lightly tap the enemy on a shoulder, they'll build a 5-story mansion. Alright? And it's just getting out of hand, because I can't be asked to fight this person who's building a 5-story mansion, you know? But the only reason they're doing this is they want to be like the pro players. Fortnite shouldn't be competitive, and it doesn't need competitive to survive. That is very much a fact. And the other thing that ruins the Fortnite community is a decent chunk of the content creators on YouTube. They give out so much made up information and just false information, which is the same as made up information, but yeah. And they create this false hype. We've known about Coral Castle being a thing since the beginning of the season. Every water level got leaked. And every conjurer is like, oh, it's Atlantis. Oh, Aquaman POI, Mythic Trident weapon. They wanted to create hype for this location by saying it's Atlantis, saying it's for Aquaman, because that's going to get people excited. In the end, it was obvious it was never going to be related to Atlantis or Aquaman. When Deadpool came out last season, he got new things on the map instantly. Alright? Nothing happened for Aquaman at the beginning. When we saw Atlantean fish stick, okay, that might have made it seem like maybe it is Atlantis, but Atlantean fish stick came out ages, kind of an exaggeration saying ages, but a decent amount of time before Coral Castle came out. And you have points like that make it obvious it's not related to Aquaman at all. That's made it obvious it's its own unique thing. But people wanted to create that false hype even when it was obvious that there were more points going against it. But they wanted to make that false hype. And because of that, people got mad when it wasn't something that it obviously was never going to be. And then what do people do? Complain because of it. Because they don't want to think about it themselves. They don't want to grow an opinion for themselves, like I've said many times already. Sorry if I'm repeating myself. And so it gets the community mad for no reason. No reason to be mad at the new POI. Well, it's not Atlantis. Yeah, because it was obvious it was never going to be. But content creators, everyone said it was Atlantis, Aquaman, Mythic Trident, because they want to get those clicks. They want to get those views. And that is something that really ruins Fortnite content on YouTube. But again, the competitive scene ruins the game as a whole. Because all the kids want to be a tryhard. All the pro players have to complain about everything. This season has had a pretty balanced loot pool. That's made it feel kind of bland. Alright, but then we got something interesting, which was the charged shotgun. And, oh, everyone hates the charged shotgun. Because no one wants to try it, because everyone just wants the pump back, because pros want it back. The charged shotgun is overpowered, but no one realizes it because they don't try and learn how to use it. They don't give it a chance. People want the pump back just because, oh, it's been here since the beginning of the game. Yeah, it got vaulted in Season 9. How much better the game was then. Combat was a really fun gun to use. Yeah, it was overpowered, but as I mentioned earlier with Unvaulted, that's the kind of weapons that we need in this game. That's what makes it fun. The pump was such a horrible weapon. The inconsistency on it was so bad. You could be directly in front of someone and do 2 damage headshot, but then you could be on the other side of the map and do 1,000 damage body shot. Alright, such horrible inconsistency with the gun that it made it terrible, but pros want it back because they're so used to it. No one wants to try new things in this game. No one wants to have a wacky game, which is what it's meant to be. But what I have noticed recently is Epic's been starting to kind of lean towards being on the casual player side, which casual players are mostly the ones that want these wacky items back. They want the game to actually be chaotic because that's what makes it fun. And that's why I think the game could actually, instead of dying like everyone says because pros are quitting, it could be fun. Pros quitting means a lot of kids quitting, which means a lot less people building 5-story mansions just because you looked at them weird. Alright? And that's what's gonna make the game fun, because it could mean that without whiny pro players complaining about anything fun, we could get half the things unvaulted that were in the unvaulted game mode. Because personally, I think that's what we need. Is most of the things in unvaulted, unvault. That's what makes the game fun. That's what makes the game that it is. And that's why it was always fun in the beginning days. You didn't have these sweaty tryhards. Because you had people that barely even knew how to play the game. You had people still learning. And that's why it was fun, because at the same time you had things like a Zapatron. Yeah, it was vaulted in like an hour, but it was such an overpowered gun. But that's what would have made the game fun if they kept it in. People barely even knowing how to play the game, and this gun that could pretty much give you free kills. Utter chaos. That's what the game needs. Again, like I said, I'm sorry if I'm repeating myself a lot. But, yeah. People need, mainly just the younger audience of the community, need to grow an opinion for themselves. Because, at the moment, that's clearly not what they're doing. While you can bring up the argument, you're giving your opinion out. You clearly want people to have the same thoughts as you. I doubt a single pro player is going to see this video. I doubt the video is going to get more than 2 views. I don't even have more than 10 subs. I'm not really going to be changing anyone's opinions. One last thing I did want to talk about is something that I feel like also ruins the Fortnite community a lot. And that's OG status and just generally having a rare item. OG status does not matter. Just because you have an item that was at the beginning of the game, that doesn't make you special. Okay? Just because you got an item when it first came out, doesn't mean you deserve an edit style just for you. You're not special, and no one ever decides to acknowledge this. Because they want to keep the thought that they're special, they're unique, they should be treated better by Epic because of the fact that they bought a skin when it first came out. They got this cosmetic when the game first started. That shouldn't matter. A lot of people complain about the Blaze skin. Oh, it's just Renegade Raider. Not only is it very different from Renegade Raider, there are noticeable differences. It's easy to notice if it's Blaze or Renegade Raider. You have one that's a normal character and one that's made of lava. Alright? Not only that, but Blaze is remodeled after the edit style that was added for Renegade Raider. It's not even modeled after the original version. And not only that, there's still some noticeable differences between the Renegade Raider edit style and Blaze. Other thing is things like the Purple Skull Trooper, Pink Ghoul Trooper edit styles. That should have never been put into the game. Alright? Because things like that shouldn't matter. Just because you got a cosmetic in Season 1 and it was re-released in Season 6, you shouldn't be entitled to something special just because you happened to get it before everyone else. It was a free game. Not only that, everyone says Season 2 and through 4 was the game's peak. My opinion, Season X was the peak, but if people think OG status is so important, if people think things like Season 2 and Season 3 Battle Passes are so rare, how could that have been the peak of the game? If that was the peak of the game, that would be the cosmetics that people own the most. But clearly that's not true. But it is. The amount of people I find with some of these rare items, it just proves that it doesn't matter that you own this thing. It really doesn't matter. And then you have things like console or phone exclusives. Console and phone exclusives are things that people try to flex on others with constantly. And in the end, I find so many people doing this. It's obvious that these things aren't very rare. You're not flexing anyone with them. Okay, maybe things like a double helix are really rare, but most of the time, I find these cosmetics all the time, and people try to flex with them, when in the end, you're not special. The best example of this is people with Iconic and Scenario. All the time, I see people wearing Iconic, and they go up to people and start doing Scenario, thinking they're the second coming of Christ because they own it. You're not. It's such a non-rare item that everyone tries to flex. In my opinion, Iconic's not even a good skin. I like the emote, but I don't use it because of the fact that anytime someone uses it, it's just them trying to flex on people. Anytime I use it, I have a million people crowding around me because they think I'm special, when in the end, I'm not. I don't have a rare cosmetic. I find people with it all the time. Like I said, things like Double Helix, extremely rare. So, understandable why you try to flex on people, but just don't do it. Because you shouldn't be entitled to being able to be like, ha, look at me, I have this item, you don't. Ha, I'm so special, look at me. When in the end, no one cares, except for 2-year-olds who think it matters to have a cosmetic. And it's those kinds of things that just ruin the game. And it's why I think a lot of these things need to stop. Make competitive players quit, so you can get all these 9-year-olds to stop trying to act like pros too. Bring back a ton of things from Unvaulted, because those are the kind of items that make the game fun. Make less exclusives. And get rid of competitive entirely. The game can easily survive without competitive, and like I said, seeing as it seems like Epic is starting to side a bit with the casual players more, I think there's a good chance the game could actually become a bit fun. Season 4 coming up in realistically over a month based off in-game files. The season's most likely going to get delayed, though there is the possibility that it's not getting delayed. They have those weekly challenges, extra ones there in advance, just in case there is a delay. But I think there's hope. The game is in no way dying. That's just completely false. The game is still, like, at the top of pretty much everything. And, I mean, not really much else to say, unless I felt like repeating myself more than I already have. Which, like I said, this is generally a live commentary, so I'm not gonna be great at commentating, but I do really want to make more commentary videos. Finish off the video, I want to give general channel updates and what I want to do with the channel. My favorite type of videos to watch are gaming and commentary, so that's what I want to make. I want to make gaming videos, and I want to make commentary videos. I'm not sure when it'll happen. It has been delayed a little bit for reasons, but I do have a podcast in the works and planned out. And, you know, a few games I have planned on playing. Obviously, Fortnite's one of them. But also my upload schedule, because what I have planned is I'm thinking of record some videos, maybe like 2 to 5, upload them, you know, edit them all around the same time, and then take a break, do that again. So there'll probably be like a month and a half gap between videos. But if you guys do enjoy this video, excited to see what I have upcoming. Subscribe if you liked. Let me know in the comments what you thought about this video, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye.